I supposed to do? Just be faithful when I am, rolling in the riches?
Never fails. This movie has more twists than an M. Night Shyamalan movie. It starts off with this greasy motorcycle riding dude who probably shouldn't be allowed around kids, attempting to touch base with the basketball team. The acting in this movie is abysmal. I love the soundtrack though. It's the best Christian hip hop I've heard since Ben Seawald was spitting bars or whatever.
Anybody here believe that?
A student with very bad facial hair confides to him that his dad beats him, which I'm assuming this coach is a mandated reporter and he doesn't do anything with this information. He just stares at him with his mouth open.
Did that to you?
I didn't say that.
Well, what did you say? You better say something, what?
Never mind. It's just... I tripped, whatever. You know, he was yelling. I got scared.
Listen, man. Relationships with our parents can be very complicated, okay? It can be very, very complicated. You know, we want to protect them a lot of the time because they protected us, right? But there comes a time when a parent can do something that's going to cause you to not see them for over 20 years.
What the fuck? So the coach prays with the student. It's fine. It's not weird at all. And these two narcs rat him out. Then the dad comes to the school to complain. I love how casual this coach is. Unkempt facial hair, denim shirt with chest hair showing, and he constantly has a shit-eating grin on his face.
If I find out you laid a hand on my son.
Dude, are you serious right now?
You do understand that praying is against school policy.
I know the policy.
Use religious coercion and propaganda to brainwash kids like my boy. I presided over 3 cases where so-called preachers were praying.
Dad, you're tripping.
Shut up!
So the dad tries to beat his son in front of the principal and ends up in a fist fight with the coach instead. And the coach gets fired? Nobody's gonna do anything about the child abuse? Okay.
Get out here, Aiden! Get out here! What are you talking about? What are you doing? You're fired! Get out! Get out of my school! For what? Go! Get out of my school! I didn't do anything, Mr. Patterson. You did! Go!
Mr. Patterson, those are my boys that I coach.
Oh no, my boys! Coach spends the night crying alone and reading his Bible in the dark. Then the basketball team comes over for some reason. I'm not sure if that's legal or appropriate, but whatever, this movie doesn't seem to care. Fuck it. They're eating ramen and he gives them a pep talk.
That's what a team does. A team stays together, no matter what. So, no excuses.
Look, this Coach Clemens, I have no idea what he's doing, and I don't think he does.
Hey, Coach, for real, they did you wrong. They did you real wrong. And I don't know if we can do this without you on the sidelines, man.
Yeah, you can, man. Yeah, you can. You know, man, there's no place I'd rather be. You know that. But it's out of my control.
Coach, you can sue them.
Nah, man. Everybody wants to file a lawsuit. That's not me.
Nah, man, I can't file no lawsuit. That goes against my casual attitude. So the coach really does intend to sue. He finds a super tough, street smart lawyer and they start working on a case.
Team, your record. Still, you thank God. You lost your job for praying. If prayer was so powerful, wouldn't you still be working? But
they're not settling?
They're not settling.
It was funny because I thought that you told me they called you and said that they wanted to settle.
They called, but they snuck me.
Snuck you? Oh, I see. So they outsmarted you is what you're saying.
Say it any way you want. But that's not the worst part.
That's not the worst part? What's the worst part?
Well, no matter what happens, just keep praying, right?
Why don't you go ahead and tell me the worst part?
Look, you see that stack of motions they filed? There's 50 grand in fees sitting on that desk.
And let me tell you, it starts to go off the rails from here. While they start arguing for or against prayer in school, we end up learning that the coach murdered his dad.
Prayer has helped you as far back as you can remember.
I've been praying all my life, and it has always helped me through troubles, yes.
In 1991, when you were 10...
Objection, Your Honor. This case is not about Mr. Paul's character as a child or an adult.
In 1991, were you arrested for murder?
I was.
And did prayer help you then?
It did.
They call his mom to the stand. She implies that the coach's dad beat and gang raped her. Seriously.
His father was a horrible, violent man. He and his friends would do terrible things to me. Things a child should never have to see.
Stop fucking standing there with your mouth wide open during the whole movie. And then they start making a case against transgender people teaching in schools.
You would agree, Mr. Patterson, that being transgendered is not the norm?
On objection.
A little grace, Your Honor.
Very little.
Yes, I would agree.
And there is a transgendered teacher working at your school. And a parent complained because this teacher discussed it with a student.
I believe that's true, yes.
And according to your definition, not being the norm is indecent, right?
According to that logic, I guess.
And that teacher still teaches, yes?
Mr. Brown, precisely what is your point?
My point is that you chose to terminate Coach Paul for praying with a student, but you chose not to terminate a transgender teacher who discussed their sexual identity with students.
The lawyer tries to leave during the trial and gets arrested for being in contempt of court. And then he comes back to trial in cuffs, makes a speech, and the jury finds the coach innocent.
We award the plaintiff $700,000 reinstatement with full pay, and for the defendant to pay attorney fees in the amount of $250,000.
The end. I give this movie 5 out of 10 because it was so bad that it was funny. Messenger's Box. This one's got everything. Action, adventure, mystery, cancer, Jesus. This movie starts off in Bible times and we see what appears to be Jesus holding a box.
Look, it has a secret place.
Yeah, my box has a secret place too, kid. Fast forward several years and we meet our protagonist, Jake. His grandfather had died and given his antique shop to Jake and his mom. Every time he opens it, he hallucinates the crucifixion. Weird.
Black hole sun.
Jake, what are you doing here?
Aren't you gonna say hi to Anna?
What do you have in there, Jake?
Don't worry, it's just my AK. For some reason, Jake and his friends start a race war.
What's going on here? Oh, it's Richie. Hey, Richie.
You don't listen too well, do you, white boy?
You guys want to sit with us?
Why don't you come have lunch with me, Anna?
Hey! We got a situation here? Okay, you two down to the office now!
Now for a sick-ass basketball sequence.
Hey.
Today I'm writing this to let whomever finds this letter know that it's in my possession. I have a small wooden box that is filled with some sort of something that is beyond my comprehension. Nothing. Yet it feels like something is in it.
What's in the box? What's in the fucking box?
Mrs. Leo. It's nice to see you.
Nice to see you, Doctor. And he won't
Ma, please.
Why aren't you eating, Richie? What's up with that?
I'm just not hungry these days.
That doesn't explain why he beat up Jake, but I guess we're not going to address that. Alright, so we're supposed to believe that this kid was fine a minute ago and now is actively dying?
If you're gonna go home, you should take your jacket.
I'm not going home. I'm gonna go to the chapel and pray.
Jake takes the box to his local religious leader, and we find out this isn't the first time he's seen this box. Apparently it contains a nail from the crucifixion. Jake, friend, and pastor guy rush to the hospital to save their friend with cancer that just got done beating up Jake.
I know it's not visiting hours, but I'm a pastor, and Richie's father called me to come and pray with them. So could you tell me what floor he's on, please? Oh, and that's a great book you're reading, by the way.
Maybe he wrote that book. I don't know why they're focusing on it. It's stupid. This whole movie is fucking stupid.
You know the rules. You're the only one that can go up. They have to stay in the downstairs
please.
waiting room.
We have to see Richie. I have something he needs.
Well, can they at least ride the elevator up with me and wait in the waiting area there?
Look, I'm sorry. You know the
now,
rules.
are you borrowing that book? Because I can give you one to keep.
Alright, this is the best part of the movie. They have to get the box with the nail to the cancer kid, but they're blocked for some reason by some rent-a-cops. Enter awesome action sequence.
What happened? Am I dead?
Doctor, his vitals are normal.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, fuck modern medicine. Just use this nail in a box.
Well, look, I don't know about all of you, but tonight I felt something in my heart that I've never felt before. And I would give anything to feel like that all the time.
Alright, well that sucked ass. 3 out of 10.
Get in between.
And somewhere, tucked away in the attics of our hearts, we all have a messenger's box.
I'm in love with a church girl. This movie stars Adrian Bylon of Cheetah Girls fame and Ja Rule, a failed businessman and dollar store DMX. The plot of this movie is based on a true story of the writer and producer Gally Molina. He was a drug dealer turned Christian and wrote the story while in prison. According to Wikipedia, he chose Adrian Bylon and Billy Baldwin for the film because of their strong Christian backgrounds. And funny enough, Ja Rule or Adrian Bylon did not contribute any music for this movie. Also, we can't forget that this movie is executive produced by God. Anyway, this movie sucks ass. Ja Rule is supposed to be a gangster drug dealer, but he surrounds himself with such weenies. Seriously, that guy looks like K-Fed. So Ja Rule is at a birthday party for James Gandolfini or something, and he sees Vanessa, and the two hit it off. Awkwardly, I might add.
Can I get my hand back before I call 911?
I'm sorry.
It's cool.
So you go to church on Sundays then?
Yes, sir. Every Sunday.
So, what was your religion again?
I guess I'm Christian, but you know, we don't really like to call it that.
Right. You like to say, men of faith. Well, in your case, it'd be women of faith.
Exactly. So you know exactly what I'm talking about, right?
Well, yeah, doesn't everybody?
Meanwhile, the feds are trying to catch Ja Rule on drug charges. The main agent is played by Billy Baldwin, and he's also terrible.
Do you go to church?
Yes, sir. Every week, wife and kids, Bible study, the whole 9 yards.
You do. Why didn't I know that?
You never asked.
Ja Rule, sorry, Miles Montego, and Vanessa start falling for each other, despite no actual character development going on.
And put Jesus in the center of this relationship. Now, do you think you can do that?
It sounds like a whole lot, babe, but I care about you enough to give it a try.
Apparently, Vanessa works at a Christian version of Hot Topic called C28, which is a real thing and existed in California earlier in the decade.
A Christian store, but it's more about a relationship with God than it is about buying Christian clothing.
Now, from the very, very beginning, we're able to see how God ministered to people through prayer, through the sharing of His Word, through T-shirts. We saw people come to know Him. Not one, not two, not three, but tons of people.
This guy came in about a couple weeks ago. He had just gotten out of prison when I met him. I asked him, hey, what can I help you find in the store? He told me I need to get right with God. So we prayed the sinner's prayer together, handed him a Bible, and ever since then, he's been attending my church.
Meet the family. This is getting serious now, huh?
Oh, please, they don't bite.
Sure about that?
Yes.
All right, I'll see you at 7.
Eventually, Vanessa sees the bad boy side of Miles and ends up witnessing a shootout between him and some other gangsters.
Yo! What's up, dog? Get him, Miles!
She's rightfully pissed, but stays with him because they are both horrifyingly codependent.
I was just trying to get us out of this safe, baby. That's it.
Really? Would you like to tell me why there was a gun in your car?
Baby, it's like I told you. Whenever I do shows like this, there's always large amounts of cash around. You know that. You see it. Look. What do you want me to do?
When Miles goes to meet Vanessa's parents, they are very rude to him.
We have done everything we can to raise all of our children in the ways of the Lord. Now, the Bible says that we should pray for our children's spouses from early in their lives. Well, we have been praying for a godly man for Vanessa. Miles, are you that godly man?
How much are you giving?
Miles starts going to their funky and hip megachurch and puts a couple hundos in the collection plate. His faith is tested, however, when his mom randomly fucking dies.
How does somebody go from perfectly healthy to dying overnight?
It wasn't overnight. Apparently your mother has lived with this for years, and you know your mother and doctors. There's no way to know.
Back to the B-plot. Miles' homies get arrested and refuse to snitch him out. That's nice, I guess. The feds try to get him on tax fraud or something, but he's too smooth of a criminal.
Well, I hate to tell you this, Miles, but their problems are quickly becoming your problems.
Oh, yeah? What kind of problems are those?
It's a problem when you use illegally gotten funds to fund even a legit business. That makes all of its gains and assets up for grabs to us.
Make me believe you, Miles. I really want to believe you.
Everything's going great for Miles. He's reading the sexy parts of the Bible and growing closer in his relationship with Vanessa.
Your two breasts are like two fawns. I slept, but my heart was awake. Listen, my lover is knocking. My head is drenched with dew. I've taken off my robe. Must I put it on again? My lover thrust his hand through the latch opening. Now that sounds like late night HBO to me.
Hold up. If you could hear how you just read that.
I read it how it's reading. That's what it is.
They get engaged, and tragedy strikes. Vanessa is in an off-screen car crash and is in a coma.
Look, I'm sorry, but somebody else needs to step in and take the wheel here.
What are you going to do about it? Go put some gloves on and go perform surgery? He goes to the sanctuary and yells at God for a while.
First of all, you took my mother from me, and that just about killed me, but I kept my mouth shut and let that one slide. I've done some bad things to people for a lot less. But I've been trying to give you the benefit of the doubt. I've been faithful. I've been going to church, reading your precious little book. I even drop stacks of hundreds every Sunday in that little velvet bag they pass around. I've changed. I'm a changed man. Can't you see that? Well, my bad. Of course you can. You see everything, right? So what's the problem then? What do you want from me? I know I haven't made you proud. How could I with all this mess I got going on? What happened? What happened to all the things I've been reading about? Grace, forgiveness, mercy. Where was the mercy from my mother? Now you want to take Vanessa from me? Nah. That ain't gonna happen, big guy.
Prays over Vanessa's comatose body and she magically wakes up. She must have had the nail from Messenger's box. She shows zero signs of being in a car accident or having any lasting brain damage, and everything is great. Miles officially converts, they get married, have a baby, and waste 2 hours of my life. The end. I give it 0 out of 2.5 million, which is how much this movie made at the box office. Oh, they won't stop calling each other babe. It's disgusting. Here, I made a supercut for you.
Baby, do you know what equally yoked means?
I'm glad you liked it, baby.
You ready, babe? Okay, well, babe, the kids are ready.
You gotta understand, babe, when it comes to protecting you, do anything, babe.
Baby, I don't want you to lose your soul. Babe.
Babe, I don't know what the Bible's saying. No question, babe.
I believe you, baby. Okay, babe.
Look, right here. Happy birthday, baby.
Like arrows. What can I say about this movie? It has a lot of implications. So it's about this family. The dad looks kind of like Bradley Cooper and the mom looks kind of like young Katy Perry. They get knocked up and she's rightfully scared.
Did you just propose with Shania Twain lyrics?
Yes, I
The mom goes for an ultrasound and the tech immediately starts indoctrinating her.
You're gonna mess up, yes. All you gotta do is love them and put the fear of God in them as they grow. Do you go to church?
I did when I was younger, but it's been a while.
Tell you what, tell your husband that your new friend Teresa invited you to church. Give me a call and tell me what he says.
Then she sees a Fundie family outside the library and it inspires her. Look at the length on those denim skirts. Gothard would have a field day.
James, grab your sister's hand, stop by the front door, please. But it's worth it. God gives us grace and strength, and each child is a blessing. You enjoy yours.
Thank you, I will.
This movie likes to show a scenario where the parents could improve, have them embrace the Bible, and then the problem is fixed.
It used to be just the same.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It took us weeks to get him to learn basic table manners. Because ain't no kid gonna say things like please and thank you on their own.
Yeah, well, you're gonna have to lend me whatever book you used to train him.
Oh, you already got it, honey. And it's all in there. In the Bible.
Oh, well, I guess I missed the chapter on manners.
Well, how much time do you spend reading Proverbs or memorizing verses? I mean, I have all my kids learn Proverbs 23, 13, and 14 as soon as they're old enough to talk. Do not withhold discipline from your children. Whom the Lord loves, he disciplines.
Yeah, but I don't know that I can intentionally hurt my child, though.
Alice, listen. Some of the greatest lessons in life come amidst pain. If there's no sting, then what you get is a spoiled child. And I know you don't want that.
Do that, then God rewards them with several more kids, including an adopted child.
But Mom said I could. She didn't say that. No, give it back. Mom said I could play with it. She's not your real mom anyway. Yes, she is. Nuh-uh, your real mom couldn't handle you. That's not true. That's what Mom told me when we got you. She did not.
Bad things happen, though, because the family isn't godly enough, such as the oldest kid becomes a pot-smoking atheist.
I was just looking at your baby picture and...
It's just a book, okay? I mean, you can't really know what you believe until you've read all the sides.
And he teaches at Dunwood?
Decision is made. Classes start on Thursday. Would you let it go?
Apartment.
That belongs to Matt. He put it there the other night. He just asked me to keep it for a few days.
And you were just going to drop it off by his house on your way out on Monday morning?
Exactly, so...
You are not leaving this driveway with drugs in your car. Do you have any more of this stuff in here? When your father finds out about this.
Yeah, okay, whatever. Hey, you guys know where to find me, right? Close the door.
Ronnie!
And the oldest daughter.
Okay, who was that?
Yes, I'm fine.
Who was that? Did he hurt you? Hey, look at me. Are you okay? Are you okay?
Yes, I'm fine, Dad.
Yes. Come here.
They start taking biblical parenting classes, and their life magically improves.
Okay. Your mom and I have come to realize that our faith and believing in God needs to be more than just going to church on Sundays or praying before we go to sleep. That God doesn't just need to be a part of our life, but that he needs to be the center of it.
Fast forward to Bradley and Katie's 50th wedding anniversary party. The atheist son shows up after all these years and announces he believes in God again.
I am glad that my own son, Tim, and his wife, Elizabeth, are able to be here today. I guess it's about time that they met y'all, and y'all met them, especially since Tim has just taken a new job at Fort Mill. And son, I'm glad that you're gonna finally get a chance to meet your grandmother and grandfather and get to know them. I should have. Years ago.
The day is saved thanks to the Powerpuff Girls.
I give this one a 67 out of 100 because that is how many senators it's going to take to remove Trump from office.
John, why do you think they sent you to an African-American church?
A Man Called Jon. Okay, this movie is actually awesome. I went into it thinking that I was going to make fun of it, but it actually has a good message. So, this movie is about a pastor named John, spelled like John from Garfield, who likes to worship God by running around the church and having a great time.
Folks around here just don't understand your method of celebrating. I mean, even your own family.
He is mocked for this and eventually is transferred to a black church.
I'm your new pastor.
Say what?
Is she alright?
More specifically, one that practices charismatic Christianity, with dancing and jazz drumming and generally a more enthusiastic congregation. I expected it to be more racist than anything, but this movie was actually good. There could be some improvements, but for a low-budget Christian movie on Up Faith and Family, I'm impressed. John is greeted warmly by the new church members.
Persons, this is your new home. Welcome.
Thank you.
Will you welcome once? Welcome. You're welcome twice. Welcome. You're welcome 3 times. Welcome.
What's all this?
This is your welcoming committee.
He and the deaconess form a really sweet friendship.
Let me put it to you another way. Are you a bucker?
What?
A bucker.
I don't know. No, I didn't.
Oh, that's not you. That's not, okay. Well, are you a slain in the spirit shouter?
I don't know what that is.
That ain't it either. I know. You do the pastor shout, right? Oh, yeah. I'm liking you more and more. I do that. That's the running shout. Yeah, they call it the track star. I'm a runner, too.
The antagonist of this story is the old head pastor who happens to be the uncle of Robin, the deaconess.
Like it one bit that the bishop has sent you here, and I'm going to start a petition to get you removed from this church. What's so funny?
I just had a deja vu moment.
Well, you won't think it's so funny when you're on the outside looking in.
He doesn't trust John because he's white, and well, I can understand his point of view, but he goes too far when he steals John's sermon and tells the congregation he's a part of the Ice Bucket Challenge so that they will dump water on him.
Yeah.
After a while, the church starts to warm up to him. His kids are making friends, and John is living his best life.
Who are you here with? With my dad, the new pastor.
That's all right. That's all right. Yeah.
Robin and the rest of the church are fed up with the old pastor because all he talks about is fornication.
But whoremongers and adulterers, God will judge.
Our message today is fornication is a sin against the body. And I promise you, I won't hold you too long.
They like John, so Robin has her uncle fired. Then he goes to the bishop and tells him that there is a mix-up. He is actively trying to have John removed, and it works for a little bit. At John's new church, they seem receptive.
We're just so excited that you're here. It's like T.D. Jakes or Rod Parsley has come to our church.
John is miserable at his new church. The members are low energy, and his family notices.
But I miss Shouting John.
Yeah, he didn't show up today, did he?
No, he didn't. You look so unhappy.
Just gotta take some time to adjust, right?
The old pastor gets a redemption arc because this is a family-friendly Christian movie after all. We learn that he keeps doing sermons on fornication because his wife cheated on him, and his mom sets him straight.
Now, Gerald, you got to get over the fact that Rebecca cheated on you and left with that accountant. That was over 5 years ago. You got to pray and ask God to remove that hatred from your heart. We need a pastor to guide us, not one who preaches fornication every other Sunday.
Is that what everyone thinks of me? I guess I have been a handful for the last couple of years, huh?
Handful is putting it lightly. You had me pour water on that man. Do you know how embarrassing that was?
Jon is invited back to the church and all is well. I really like this movie and the message was great. You can worship any way you like, and if people think it's weird, you can find a new church. This movie does a great job of showing that church can be a huge part of people's lives and fitting in can be a deal breaker. 10 out of 10, just for no reason.
Santa, rearrange letters. Satan. Santa, Satan, same letters.
Kirk Cameron's Saving Christmas. A movie my roommate referred to as Keanu Reeves Saves Christmas, which I must admit would be infinitely better than this disgusting capitalist propaganda film. By the way, it took me and James 4 days to watch this. We kept starting and stopping it and finally had to force ourselves to finish it in time. The tone of the movie is all over the place. Sometimes he's trying to be historical, other times he's trying to be quirky.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. We're gonna take it to, we're gonna march. We're gonna do the Running Man. We're gonna do everything we got to do because they ain't gonna get us. Nah, man, it ain't gonna happen that way.
This lady is supposed to be Kirk Cameron's sister. I guess Candace was busy.
And that's Christian, my brother-in-law. My sister wasn't exaggerating. He is not into Christmas this year. Where some see laughter and holiday cheer, others see pretense and obligation. Where some see generosity and the joy of giving, others see needless spending and bad stewardship.
Christmas is too commercial. I guess Kirk missed all the classic Christmas movies of yore. Peanuts, The Grinch. They all preached against placing the importance of consumerism and greed over the birth of Christ. Every point this guy brings up is valid, and he doesn't even let him finish.
You're all wrong.
About what?
But everything you just said.
I said a lot.
Yeah, and it's all wrong.
And that's the big thing I got sitting in my house right now, the big Christmas tree. That's a pagan idol symbol worshiping thingy. You know that, right? You know the gods.
What gods?
The gods.
Which gods? The Garden of Eden was full of trees. It was time for him to build his house and make it beautiful. God brought trees inside. By the way, last I checked, it was God who made the winter solstice when he set the planets on their path around the sun. Jesus put to death on a tree.
Okay, Jesus was crucified on wood. That means we have Christmas trees now.
You better not cry, I'm telling you what. Santa Claus is coming to town.
What's the next
He
line?
knows when you are sleeping. He knows when you are awake.
Right.
He knows if you've been
Omniscience.
good or bad, so be good for goodness sake.
Omniscience,
you better what?
omnipresence.
He rewards the good and he punishes the bad.
Right. Last I checked, that was God.
And Santa Claus. Kirk tells the bastardized story of St. Nicholas who beats people up. Why do we need to defend him? The modern idea of Santa Claus that we have now is just another reason to buy expensive toys for your kids and threaten them into behaving. And fuck that elf on the shelf, by the way, too. Kirk Cameron is cherry-picking pieces of the Bible, and if I was a Christian, I would be extremely offended. Kirk convinces his brother-in-law to give into the holiday spirit of shopping, and he decides to tackle a pile of presents. If you didn't already know, the director of this movie actually exclusively directed music videos before this. That's why this scene was shoehorned in. The production value of this movie is atrocious, the writing is embarrassing, this movie is padded with nonsensical crap, yet the whole thing feels rushed. There is no such thing as a war on Christmas, and Kirk Cameron is a homophobic, ignorant asshole. Give it a 0 out of 465 billion, which is the average amount of money Americans spend on Christmas gifts each year.